I actually had to use that signal the other day on a fucking driver on my bike because he was driving. I always take a one-way so I can go as fast as possible, so I don't have to worry about people coming towards me. But there was a car coming towards us on a one-way.
Jesus Christ.
One of these, just one of these.
So weird hearing myself. Sorry. Hello.
Hello?
Hello. We're live.
Are we?
Mhm.
Jesus Christ. Hello.
See,
that's a great question. We should have figured
The
that
confidence
out.
monitor has a
30
number on
minutes
it.
ago?
Yeah.
I figured you'd figure that's the countdown as to when you get live. Guys.
I usually pull up the stream so I know when we're live as soon as you hit the button.
Oh, got it. Because it was a little delayed. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna be.
Why
quiet.
is the confidence monitor confuses me? Because right now it just looks like there's only
It's
like.
because I'm working on it. All right.
I'm working on it.
I'm working over here.
I'm walking.
Alright, who's hosting? No Nose Goes.
Harv.
I can host, yeah. You guys, nobody else.
Harv obviously didn't understand the reference, and for that reason, he now hosts.
I don't understand the reference either, but like I picked it up pretty quick.
I didn't even hear it.
Not
so I don't know.
No Nose Goes.
I don't know. You just started putting your finger in your nose. I was like, okay, I guess that's the rule.
I use that quite often when it came to like New Girl because they did that a lot. They're just like,
Have you ever played oh god, what's the game
I'm somehow
called?
on camera. Hold on, one second. I don't
I
know
was
how
gonna
that
say,
happened.
like, I don't know why you're on camera.
I was just like, okay, barely Frank, fuck you.
I'll fix that.
Enjoy the podcast, Frank.
I'll be the disembodied head this
Oh my
podcast.
God. Random aside note, I just need to know, what are you getting for dinner?
I don't know yet. They just sent me a message saying that I can get $20 off anything I want. So
Where?
anywhere I want.
Oh, is the Thai place open?
That's what I was gonna look at. Let me see here really quick. We got
Mario.
some Thai.
Oh, Mario. Hi, everybody. I hope everyone's having a fantastic evening.
What do you think about Thai and sushi?
I mean, sure. What are you gonna get though?
I don't know yet.
That doesn't.
They have pad Thai. They have fried rice, orange chicken, panang curry.
Pad See
Actually, that's literally the next thing that's on this list right here.
I always go either pad see or massamam curry.
Large noodles with garlic and soy sauce, stir-fried noodles with beef or chicken, egg, Chinese broccoli, and caramelized sauce. Does that sound right?
Fucking love pad see. Yeah, it's my.
Is it a big portion? I'm looking for like a big portion. I'm trying to get fat.
Wait. Like, here's the thing. If they
It's
have
a
something,
big noodle dish.
Okay.
yeah. If they have like katsudon or
Katsudon.
like,
I love katsudon actually.
yeah, get some of that don. Get some of that grilled chicken.
That don.
The don. The don.
The don.
There you go. A Sopranos themed sushi restaurant. But it's not like it's just, you know what? It's just gonna be a Dawn restaurant, and it's just gonna be specifically like gangster / Sopranos themed, and it's just gonna be like different Dawns named after the guys from the Sopranos.
Oh, that'd be kind of sick actually. You know what? Actually, it would be sick if
What?
like imagine. So you know how you were talking about your cat restaurant?
Yes.
Yeah, I would love a cat restaurant that I could also rent a cat at and chill with for like maybe 30 to 40 minutes.
That's
You know what I mean?
That's what you do.
Is that what you do?
Yes. What
Okay,
do you
I thought there
mean?
was just cats here. So I get to rent said cat and eat food?
So you get to sit like, okay, the one that I went to and the one that's in my city. By the way, I just want to clarify what he's referring to is a cat cafe where you go and you like reserve like an hour worth of time where you get to sit in a room, have like a bottled drink. They don't have like cafe lattes or anything at that particular one, but there's a lot of cities that do have that. And you get to sit there with a cat or multiple cats and just get to play with them for an hour.
Okay. But
You can't just take them away from the building for 30 minutes.
I just want to rent it for like an hour. I just want a little cat companion for like an hour, and then an hour interval.
No.
Damn. All right.
But you can do that in the same
Christ.
building.
I'm in Mario. Is it gone?
I'm always here.
Mario's doing whatever.
Yeah.
Anyways, while Harv is getting set up, did y'all ever play? I think it's just called Mr. President, but when you're like in a big group, somebody like puts their like finger to their ear, and then everybody like once they notice also puts their like fingers to the ear, and whoever the last person to notice is the president, and then y'all have to tackle them.
Oh shit.
Yes, I've done that before. I have been both the VIP and the president.
I do want
This
to
just sucks.
shout out HBO Mac in the chat. The Thai place. I thought this is where you're getting food, not formal wear.
Oh.
Good reference. Good joke.
I need a new tie anyway.
HBO
I
Mac
should probably actually order that food though.
also had the best joke of the week. It made everyone laugh at work, and of course was about the Charlottesville jerseys. Shout out to HBO Mac, Jose Ruckus, you're the bomb. All right, now I'm officially gonna disappear. Now enjoy the show.
Mario's dead. FEMA killed him. Let's go. What was I gonna say? Oh,
The game is
there have
very
been
painful,
two
by the way.
ties I've been looking for ages, and I can't find them, and I'm so particular. Like, I want like a very like distinct style of tie. So that's been what I've been up to lately.
All right, I'm gonna get some calamari because I always gotta try the calamari from a place. You can tell a lot about a place if they serve good calamari. If they serve shit calamari, their food's also probably shit. And I guess I'm gonna get. I mean, if it has Thai and sushi, I guess I gotta get sushi, right?
I mean, sure.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna go with. Hold on, they have like this menu's huge, man. See, I don't know. This place just has like it has Thai food, but like these are just standard like Chinese food place like stuff too. Like I'm trying to get Thai food, not just the same thing I can get like everywhere else around here.
Fair.
Pineapple shrimp curry.
Are we ready?
Mhm.
Yeah, my parents are here now. They moved here.
They're
And
in the
every
background.
fucking 2 days, dude, or every day they call me like, "What's up?" I was like, "Nothing. Nothing has happened in the last fucking 24 hours."
Man.
Oh, I hate it. I hate it. All
There's
right.
something on here called a crying tiger. I'm actually kind of intrigued.
Get it. Why not?
Tender succulent steak. Is the description.
Succulent.
Succulent.
There's this there's a pizza place that's downtown Halifax called Extreme Pizza. And one time I was
Obviously it is.
yeah, and so I ordered one time, like I was going through the orders one day, and there was something called Hopes and Dreams. And when you order Hopes and Dreams, they just give you a bunch of hard candy in a bag.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. I was just like sick. It's like those like fruit filled like hard candies that have like
Mhm.
a pineapple and strawberry and stuff on it. And like at the time, it was only like 10, like it was 5 cents. So I ordered like just like 50 cents worth, and I got a lot of shit. Like I just got a lot of candy.
I have a shit ton of candy now all of a sudden.
I was like, okay,
All right, I'm ready when you are, Harv.
All right, y'all ready?
no, I'm joking. I am.
Okay.
Are you
No
ready?
problem.
I am ready.
How are you feeling?
How am I feeling?
How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling great.
Hell yeah.
It's a long weekend this
Hi,
weekend. It's
Mario.
great.
Hello, Mario's back. You can't. People in the chat can't see this, but we can see him. He's not talking though, but he's emoting but not talking, so he just feels like a ghost. like we CGI'd him into this.
Oh. You can't see me?
Yeah.
You can't see me. What time is now?
Now you're just eating pizza.
That is authentic
Look it up,
Phil's
man.
Pizza from Chicago.
Now I just want pizza. Fuck. Okay. All right, y'all ready?
Y'all ready for this?
What's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 61 of the Point in Progress podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about Chainsaw Man, Nancy Drew, not these nuts, and Barbarian. It's progress time. For a little housekeeping in the checkpoint, MCU University is going to be going weekly until Christmas. So there's going to be an episode every day during all the way till Christmas.
Not every day.
Not every week.
Wednesday.
Every week. Yes, every week.
Every
Every
week.
Kill
Wednesday.
me, man.
Yeah.
Every day. Actually, every
day.
hour. Every hour is just gonna be a new video.
Yeah, I want the first episode.
Upcoming video will be Days of Future Past, the
Fun.
Rogue Cut with a guest, Luke Lewis. It's a great episode. I'm very excited for people to see it. And we have a stacked lineup. We have a guest for pretty much every episode in season 2. So it's going to be really exciting to see. We've already had some pretty awesome guests, and we have some really fun ones to come, including 2 people whose faces you may or may not see on screen.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Let's get into it. That person's voice, that beautiful voice is Sly. How you doing, Sly?
I am doing. I'm here. I made it. I arrived. That's all I got for you.
I mean, that's fair. As long as you're here, I guess. That's all that really matters. Frank, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well.
I'm just chilling. I'm trying to figure out what to eat for dinner. The quest isn't going well, as most of the time I try to go on Uber Eats and figure out what I want for dinner. But I did find out there's a board game Humble Bundle sale going on right now. So, Fee, you might want to jump on that, Fee. There's about 6 games on here, and I don't know any one of them. So if you see anything there that's actually not mid, please let me know.
Yeah, send me the link.
Mm-hmm.
And Fee, how you doing, Fee?
Oh, I am doing absolutely peachy keen. Thank you so much for asking.
Wonderful.
Keen.
Absolutely.
I believed every word of that.
Absolutely wonderful.
And then we have Mario on the 1s and 2s right now. He's eating pizza in the background. I just want to call him out.
Fucking eating that pizza. Let me get another slice right there, bro. Show me
chomp
another
it
slice.
down.
Let me see another one.
Hold on 1 second.
Are you gonna come on camera just to show us that you're
Oh,
eating
yeah.
pizza?
There you go. There you go.
Delicious.
Delicious. What kind of pizza is it?
Just a sausage, just a normal ass sausage. You know, I got a small size. It's pretty good.
Is that normal?
No.
Is that
Yeah.
a normal pizza? That's not a normal
Yeah.
pizza, right?
There's 2 normal pizzas. There's pepperoni and there's sausages. There's only two
No,
normal
pepperoni
ones.
and cheese are the only
No,
two
no, no,
ones
no,
that
no,
are
no, no.
normal.
No, not here in Chicago.
I bet if I go down to Chicago and I ask 100 people,
Yeah, no, it's
20 of them will say
pepperoni.
sausage.
It's sausage, or I guess you can get cheese if you're like one of those people.
vegetarian people.
Vegetarians?
That's what I mean. People who don't put good things on top of their pizza.
Okay, fuck you, because I don't.
Wait, what? You don't? Cheese is great on pizza.
I mean, you know what I mean. You can put some basil on it. You could put like some mushrooms on it or something like that. Just the plain cheese ones, I'm just like.
Wow.
Also, Carlos.
We just lost our entire demographic that's vegetarian. No, just kidding. Oh man, I like a good cheese pizza. I'm a big fan of cheese pizza.
No.
All right. I totally lost where I was for a second there. My bad. But welcome in, everybody.
Excellent.
Welcome in. We're gonna go right in. There it is. I was like, "Where's my tab?" We're gonna go right into what we've been playing this week. Fee, I see you've been playing Cult of the Lamb as still, because I saw you playing it on Steam.
Yeah, I sure was.
Still playing that one. How's that going?
I've only still beaten one boss.
I'm guessing you're doing more of the side stuff
brother's
than like the
sibling wife.
not really side stuff, but like you've been doing more of like the managing stuff than the actual.
So my town currently consists of, I believe, 25 different followers. And I have an entire like town square because all of their houses go in a square, and then in the middle they have like it has like cobblestone kind of middle. It has a fountain in the middle, and then just like a bunch of different amenities in the middle of the town as well. In different
Sounds like
areas.
a great place. Sounds like a great place to live.
It's a fantastic place. And I also have an entire farming region and like essentially a money making area, and it's just a really nice place.
How is
Um,
the graveyard?
um, I'm on day like
Is it
one.
booming?
It's slightly booming. I have I'm on day like 147. Um, which is incredibly extensive. I have maxed out the entire like trees that you can select different items from. So in the middle of your town, you have kind of like a worshiping area, and you get different buildings and different item like areas that you can like build up your town. I've maxed it out completely to the point that I'm now, instead of getting divine, like like I guess whenever I go up to someone and do a little dance to inspire them, rather than getting like their inspired points, I'm just getting money.
I mean,
So much money.
that's really what runs a cult is the money, not the people. You know.
It is true, to the point
Yeah.
that the elder god that saved me at the beginning of the game got really mad that I wasn't sacrificing anybody, and so he's just like, I know you didn't select this, but you need to start sacrificing people. And then he gave me the divine like ability because he's just like, you need to start killing off your people. And I'm like, fuck
Jesus
you.
Christ.
Yeah, I would say like, do you want money or do you want sacrifices? I feel like money is more of like the situation here. You
Now
know.
there's no reason to sacrifice anybody. And honestly, the sacrificing portions are terrifying. I'm not going to spoil it for anybody, but there's some Game of Thrones season 1 Valerian death. If you are familiar with Game of Thrones, it is absolutely terrifying. So there's that. There is the tentacle like portal to hell, which is another way you can sacrifice others. It's too much. So it's been a lot. Overall, I did take a little bit of a hiatus because I have been kind of just playing more like things like Marvel Snap recently. But yeah, I plan on playing probably some other games. I'm just not very good at the dungeon portion.
That's like the roguelike part of it, right?
Yeah, I'm not really good at that. I'm probably gonna have to just give it to Lucas and be like, "Hey, can you do this?" Because that's his favorite part of it is the
Yeah.
actual roguelike. And for me, it's just like I just want this to be Animal Crossing. So so that's probably what's gonna happen. So Lucas, if you're listening right now, 1, hi. 2,
Lucas is in
He
chat.
did say
So.
she's just playing Animal Crossing Cult Edition.
I mean,
You're not wrong, Lucas.
nothing wrong with that, you know.
Yeah, I did start playing a few other games that I didn't write down in the mentions just because I just literally jumped into them and then I just didn't hop back into them yet. A lot of point and click adventures, which is what I'm planning on getting into more. But the one that I did try, which was Call of the Sea, which looks really fun. Found out it was the first person, and
Rip.
I got kind of
Call of
motion
the
sick
Sea?
playing it. Yeah, Call of the Sea.
Interesting.
The sea is calling.
Yeah,
The sea is calling.
a woman has this like essentially this I don't know. It's like a mysterious disease that she doesn't know what's happening, and so her husband's just like, "I'm gonna go find the antidote for you." And so he goes to this tropical like island on this like excavation to try to find a cure for her. And he's now missing. He's MIA. So she's just like, "I'm just gonna go try to find him." And I don't know what's happening
cool.
because I was falling asleep while playing it on the sofa because I decided to try to start playing this at 1 a.m. in the morning.
Oh.
Did not go well.
I thought you were gonna say the game was boring.
Oh no, it's not boring at all. It was just I was falling asleep on the sofa while playing it.
It's a bold move playing sort of at 1 a.m.
You know,
Or actually 1 a.m.
sometimes I just I try to I was just like, you know what, I want to do something different. And then sometimes I'm like, hey, I have a lot of energy. And then all of a sudden I'm just falling asleep on the sofa while holding the Steam Deck and then freaking out that I'm falling asleep with the Steam Deck on my lap. And then I'm like, oh my God. And then I put it back into its case. And then, yeah, that's about it.
Lucas is indeed in the chat also. He says a whopping hi.
Hi.
On that
Yeah.
note, let me know what it. Okay, so I've seen Cook Serve Delicious too. What's the TLDR on this game?
Okay, so fantastic game. I personally love it. This is a game that I strictly have been playing with Lucas. And so there's Cook Serve Delicious 1, which you are working in your own restaurant. For some reason, random music just started playing. I apologize. So I got really confused for a second. In my headphones. You cook in a massive skyscraper, and then in Cook Serve Delicious 2, you continue with this where you're trying to become essentially the Ash Ketchum of chefs.
Ash Ketchum of chefs.
I just want to say, shout out to Ash Ketchum. He just became a Pokemon champion today.
Dude.
Shout out to
World
Ash Ketchum.
champion.
Yeah, the real
World
Pokemon champion.
He's
Yeah.
finally a champion, guys. Can you believe that? How many years?
He's been, 11 for so long, and now he finally got it.
Now he can age.
Yeah, now he can age.
Finally.
That's the curse he had. He's like,
The curse is lifted.
He can't age until he becomes the Pokemon World Champion.
Oh my God.
Anyway,
So-
sorry.
Yeah, no worries at all. So there's about, I believe, 35 to 40 different restaurants that you can work at in the game. And so there's different styles. If you've never played Cook Serve Delicious before, first of all, it has probably one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in a video game. It's just really great music. And it's just honestly one of my faves. I just put the soundtrack on every so often while I'm working because I just enjoy it substantially. But yeah, you go around, you can go in either by yourself or as a team or duo, and you have to cook things like ribeye steaks or hamburgers or pies, and all the restaurants are different themes. Some of them are just completely out of the box. I cannot remember any of the names off the top of my head while I'm I should try to remember. Haha, I found a picture of it, so perfect. So there is like Max Weenies, which is like essentially like standard like Americana food. There is the Deep, which has just like seafood stuff. There's like Absolutely, which absolutely is just absolutely fantastic. And then they're just really pretentious, and you get constantly people who want like cold soups and
Cold soup.
I love a cold soup.
Yeah.
Hot take.
they just really
There is something pretentious about a cold soup, though.
What's a cold soup? Like, what would you consider a cold soup?
Like a potato soup could be eaten cold, isn't it?
There's like an actual name for it, and I'm trying. Oh God, what is it called? Oh no, Lucas is gonna come into the chat and he's gonna be like,
Frank,
gazpacho.
Yes.
That's what it
yes,
is.
that's the one. Yes, that's what I was thinking of.
Okay.
That's the soup they're
Gazpacho.
eating in
Gazpacho.
Batman '89 when Vicky Vale is over and they're eating cold soup. Just so you know.
It's the coldest of fucking soups.
There's the voice of God right there.
There it
Yeah.
is. I
welcome.
posted the list of different ones there. But yeah, there's just a bunch of different themed restaurants. You go in, you can work for the day and you get like different medals. So there's like bronze, silver, and gold. So gold is if you don't fuck up once, which is usually my fault that we fuck up. And then there's silver, which is like you messed up a few times. And then there's bronze, which is like you probably shouldn't have come into work and cooked at my restaurant. And then if you don't get any, you probably just failed completely. So it's honestly a lot of fun. There is Cook Serve Delicious 3, which is substantially different. Spoilers.
Wait, there's
these
lore
guys-
to this?
There's complete lore.
Oh my
so
god.
Cook Serve Delicious 3, the skyscraper that has all of these restaurants gets annihilated.
What the fuck? There's
so
an
then-
apocalypse in this universe?
Correct. So
Or
then
what do
you-
we call it in Final Fantasy? A calamity?
So it's essentially Calamity. So what you're doing in Cook Serve Delicious 3 is you're working in a food truck, but
Mhm.
then there's like almost like Mad Max like robots and other like actual like food trucks that are coming to try to shoot you down and stuff like that. So there's high speed chases.
So you're cooking for freedom.
So you are cooking while trying to avoid robot androids trying to kill you. And then there's just a bunch of chaos.
Some Terminator shit.
Right,
And
that's
then
what I'm
Cook-
saying, right?
Cook Serve
The
Delicious
fuck?
4 comes out next year.
Wait, there's a 4?
Yeah, Cook Serve
Wait,
Delicious.
I thought Cook Serve Delicious 3 just came out.
Wait. Is this the same game that was a big controversy with?
What is a controversy now? Holy
With-
shit, this is a
Cook-
franchise.
Is this the same game?
I don't know.
What's
With
the
the three?
controversy? Find the controversy on this. I have a question for you, Fee, while he does that.
Okay.
Um,
because
so
the game's too hard? That seems to be the only controversy I see online.
What is that? Okay, then it must not be this one.
yeah. Look, Fee, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
All right. So I only really know these type of games through like 3 different ones, right? You have Cook Serve Delicious, Overcooked,
Mhm.
and Cookin' Mama.
Yes.
Right? Out of those 3 games that I just listed, which one is the better version of this kind of cooking game, or are they too different for them to be compared that way?
Okay, so I feel like Cooking Mama, and then the other games like Cook Serve Delicious, as well as
It was Cooking Mama controversy.
Yeah, I know Cooking
Yeah.
Mama caused some controversy.
Yeah, that one
Yeah.
was.
No, there's fake controversy in like the only controversy that I specifically found for Cook Serve Delicious was from 3, and it's from boba tea. The drink encountered controversy in 2026 when an organization known as the Fighters Against Robot Tea published a report indicate. And then I'm just like, what do you mean a controversy? I don't think you're this like in the future. No,
It's 2026 is 4 years away.
I know. I was just like, there's no controversy with this game. There was one man who made the original, and he made the actual graphics and music and everything. And no, they're really different, but I personally, out of all,
Sorry.
oh, sorry, no worries. The only thing I like, the one that I personally like the most is Cook Serve Delicious. That entire series. The music is the bomb. Like, honestly, if you are listening into the podcast right now, if you do get the chance, the soundtracks are found on Spotify, so feel free to go listen to it. It's
Ooh,
fantastic.
spoofy. Okay.
On Spoofy.
On the
But
spoofy.
yeah, I recommend playing it too. Like I said, you can build up your own restaurant. In 2, it doesn't do as much as going to work at different restaurants in the actual building, because all of the restaurants are in this one skyscraper, which is there's a bunch of lore to it. Each and every restaurant has its own lore and background, and just it's wild. The entire
Yeah.
game is absolutely bonkers wild. You can go in and there's like massive like paragraphs for each and every restaurant. And if you do run your own restaurant, there's things like you have to be wary of like the weather, because certain foods are better if it's raining outside. So like soups are like really good for rainy weather, or like if it's a holiday or something like that, you might want to have something like exciting or like over the top. But yeah, really good game. It is bonkers insane. Each level, like a lot of the places have like different amounts of days that you can go up to. Some of them are a few, some of them are, I believe, have up to like 40 different levels that you can go through. So it's pretty crazy. Would highly recommend it. I haven't played 3 yet at all because I want to actually finish 2. So we're trying to get through 2 first. But who knows? I might try to hop onto 3. Who knows? We might stream it just to see how that's like. Because we get pretty serious while playing it. Well, it's mostly me getting serious and then me getting frustrated, and then like also I find that I've calmed down significantly while playing on the Steam Deck. Because then I don't have the urge to throw it.
Mhm.
There
Well,
you go.
one last question before anything. HBO Max here says Diner Dash is the GOAT. Is that true?
Diner Dash. Is that?
Diner Dash was a old mobile game, wasn't it?
Oh, I swear, was it a mobile game? I have
Yeah,
like very faint memories of this.
It's also, it was on a console, I believe, but it's basically you deliver foods from the kitchen to the table.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I
that's
remember
different.
this.
That's a different game, but
That's totally different type of game.
that's like the other game that I played recently with Luca. I cannot remember any of the games for some reason. Like everything, single one I think of is just like Cook Serve, and I'm like, yeah, that
So-
game.
So I wanna preface the whole Cooking Mama thing. Is that the controversy was that they thought that the game was mining cryptocurrency for you or for them
What?
on the Nintendo Switch because it would
What?
overheat the Switch and the
Damn.
battery wouldn't drain.
I did not expect
And
the
apparently-
controversy of a fucking Cooking Mama
This
game
is
to go to
wild.
cryptocurrency.
And apparently,
farming.
it apparently got debugged because you could play the game offline. But really, what it was another developer not wanting to release the game because it wasn't like fully made yet. And then the
Oh,
other
okay.
developer that was working on it, they released it, and so they wanted to take it down. That's what it ended up being. But there was also this other thing where like another possible reason was like they like ripped the eShop music from YouTube and threw it into the game and shit like that. It's just like it was it's very very weird. Very
weird
weird.
fucking time, man, for Cooking Mama. Jesus
Wait.
Christ.
What did I do? I see
What did you
Crafty
do?
saying Fiona, and I'm like, what? What did I do?
I don't know. I've seen played up.
What did
as
you
well.
do,
I've seen a lot
Fee?
of I've seen a lot of people.
Oh,
play
I think it's because
Play
you
Up.
don't know what Diner Dash was. Didn't know what Diner Dash was.
Oh yeah, no, I do not know.
I didn't know what Diner Dash was either. I mean, it's been a hot while, but once I looked it up, I recognized the girl. If I remember correctly, it's a mobile game, but I
Oh,
think it
that's-
was also on consoles and like PSPs and shit like that.
Yes, Diner Dash looks like Played Up. That's it. That's
All right,
what it-
Frank. I don't want you to get into too much detail here.
Oh, I'm gonna
Because
go into every single detail.
I
You're gonna know
haven't even-
every
I haven't even-
spoiler
I haven't
of
even
God of Boy.
I haven't even started this game. I'm starting.
Okay, no, I'm not gonna go in. I'm actually
week
not gonna
after.
go into detail. Everything I'm gonna say about this game so far is mostly just general.
Okay.
Right. So yeah, I've been playing the God of Boy Ragnaroks. I don't have the case readily available, but here's a picture of here's basically the free DLC code there. I've already used it, so you can take a look at it.
I mean, that's basically the game right there.
That's basically the game right there. But yeah, no, I've been playing God of Boy. It's pretty good. I'm having a blast so far. Combat is really good. This game is really, really hard, like insanely hard. The enemies mob you like crazy on the hardest difficulty. They do hella damage, and I still got to remember how to parry in this game because it does take a little bit of learning of that timing. The first hour of the game is by far some of the best. If they can bottle the first hour of God of War Ragnarok and make some kind of synthesized drug out of it, I would be addicted. You would have to put me in a home because it's so fucking good. The first hour of this game is some like expertly crafted shit. All right, they do some crazy fourth wall breaks. It's great, but you got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, I've heard the first hour is very very good.
Yeah, I can't really talk too much about the other parts of the game because, obviously knowing where the story is taking place is going to be spoilers. But I will say the area I'm in is absolutely fucking beautiful. Santa Monica Studio has done a really good job at just making realms look lived in. The details and just like the ground, the buildings, even stuff like water, right? It just looks absolutely just chef's kiss. Everything in this game looks amazing. I will say I'm currently playing it on the hold on, I got a controller here for a reference. I am playing on the PlayStation 5, so the game does look pretty damn good. I've been testing the PlayStation 5's 1440p mode because I'm playing it on my 1440p monitor, and it's been running like a champ. There's a ton of accessibility options in this game. You can basically change almost anything with the HUD in this. But yeah,
they said like there were like over 70 accessibility options in this game.
Yep. It is very extensive. They have just about everything you can kind of be looking for in that field. I would love Sly to be able to look at it to see if they're missing anything, because for what I can see, I don't really see anything missing. And then of course, music, amazing. So, everything about this game is so good. I only had one issue one small detail issue, which was stop fucking if I don't care about your tutorial, don't force me to do your tutorial. I hate it when like you have like, oh well, here's how you use the map. I'm like, I've used a map before. I know how to use a map. Well, you have to hit R3 to move to go any further from here. I actually I have a picture of it. The game hard locked because I hit 2 buttons too fast. Because like, okay, you want me to hit this button? Fine. I hit it so fast that it locked me into another menu, and it didn't register that I hit R3 for the map. So I had to like close my whole game and restart the whole thing just because the tutorial soft locked me. I will. That's the only thing. That's like the game. All like I haven't seen a glitch in the game yet. The game it runs beautifully. It hasn't crashed. Nothing. The only thing that crashed the game was a dumb, unskippable tutorial. That's basically it.
My plan is to finish this game before Game Awards, which is on December 8th.
How are you going to skip all these spoilers? That's what I want to know.
Okay, so knock on wood, I have not been spoiled yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's only been 3 days, obviously. So like,
yeah, it's only been 3 days.
Yeah, it's only been 3. It's gonna get worse and worse as we progress through it. So my plan is this week I'm not gonna start it. It's gonna be on the 21st. I'm gonna start it. So I got 10 days of no spoilers. Try to avoid spoilers.
Yeah.
So
And
so
then,
far so good, but yeah.
And then Mario's playing it too. He is currently what I want to say 30 minutes into the story.
Yeah, just about.
Yeah, I would say about 30 minutes into the story. He's already cried. So
the only thing I was gonna say is I cried. You could read about that on Twitter.
yeah, he cried.
Yes,
which for a very good reason.
Yeah, I'm very, very excited. I cannot wait to play this game. This and Elden Ring are 2 of my most anticipated games this year, honestly, and then also Callisto Protocol. So it's gonna be a good year. It's gonna be a good year. I started a new game this week, and I am in the middle of it. I'm going to be continuing it tonight, which I'm very excited about. And it is Nancy Drew and the Haunting of Castle Malloy.
What is Castle Malloy?
This is a castle.
I did read that as Castle Malfoy, and I was like, "Is this a crossover?"
It's finally crossed over. There's a fan fiction out there for that.
Oh, I'm sure there is.
So there okay, there are a couple of things I want to preface. Nancy Drew, please make games in 2022 for the love of God. I don't understand. Like, at least update your games or do something to them. Because holy shit,
like,
is Nancy Drew the person developing this? Is it the Nancy Drew Studios?
It's her interactive. It's her interactive.
Yeah, her interactive. That's what it's called. But other than that, I think the game is great. I think the puzzles are fun. Some of the people are just batshit crazy. Like Kit, I know he's the killer. Like I've already fucking put it in my book. So he's the killer. I just have to prove it now. By planting evidence and proving it.
Planting evidence. Not discovering evidence, planting it.
Yeah.
So the first time I talked to this guy,
like Nancy Drew all of a sudden.
Yeah, first time I talked to this guy, he's sitting on a cot. He's got a black eye, and he just like writing. Oh, I'm just writing. Don't ask about the black eye. I'm like, obviously, I'm gonna ask about the fucking black eye.
Did you ask about the black eye though?
It never gave me the option to ask
God
for it.
damn
And then he's just like, yeah, I ran into a door or some shit like that. I was like,
what?
Yeah, you don't understand. Yeah, you don't understand the Nancy Drew mechanics, my friend. You like, which by the way, as someone who has played like quite a substantial amount of these games, why did you start at game 19?
Well, because I asked Kate, like, what is the best way to get into the thing? And she's like, all right, Castle Malloy. And it's like, I don't know if there's any thing that I need to know about.
No, but it's because here's the thing. If you understood how fucking insane these characters are, for example, Secrets Can Kill. If you want to see a batshit insane game, this game came on 2 discs. And whenever you went in between the school and the diner, you had to switch discs every single fucking time.
Oh yeah,
and then not only that, there was characters that were like, this one guy, for like, a few of the characters got really fucking pissed off at you. Because at first they're like, "Oh, you seem really nice," and they're like, "Nancy, I'm leaving." Do you know who doesn't leave? The fucking people who are standing there, and they're just looking at you, just like, "Leave me alone, Nancy. I'm leaving." And I'm like, What do you mean? You're not leaving. You're still there."
Yeah.
Not only that, it was like 3D, like everything except for the characters. So they were just like 2D. They were 2D drawn characters in these 3D kind of like, you can tell that they went into some sort of very weird render because the first game came out in 1998. And so it was very weird. But no,
This,
I mean,
I'm gonna say this is how old school these games are. Is that one of their full screen modes is used for CRT TVs?
And
I was
Yeah.
just like, you guys have a whole menu just for CRT TVs.
so like Secrets Can Kill and Stay Tuned in Danger, which by the way, you cannot get Stay Tuned to Danger on Steam. You have to go through Her Interactive to get it. No idea why. Both of those games got remastered. Secrets Can Kill got remastered in 2010. And then I know I think Stay Tuned to Danger was a lot farther past that particular point. But no, it's just, yeah, I was looking at my list and I was just like, I'm just curious because I personally haven't even played Haunting of Castle Malloy. And then I'm like scrolling down my entire list, which by the way, for people who are listening who are not aware,
that's right,
I
you have a-
actually,
Yeah.
yes,
it's a beautiful spreadsheet. We
Thank
love
you.
a spreadsheet.
I have a spreadsheet with all the games specifically because I'm trying to rebuy all of them in digital formats on Steam. And yes, there was a game that was made in 2019 by Her Interactive, and it got horrendous reviews because they
Jeez.
switched the actor who actually voiced Nancy Drew, which, by the way, funny enough, she's in her mid to late 70s, if I remember correctly. Who's voicing Nancy Drew,
Did they offer her
and
$4,000?
so they oh no, definitely not that type of situation. And yeah, it was did not do well in reviews. So hopefully they come back for a 34th game. But yeah,
Hey, I would be down for if they made like a new game for like 2022 and just kind of like kept the same actors but made it a little bit more graphically better. Because like
Yeah.
the game doesn't look terrible. I think it's just like, I think that just the way that it's presented is not the best. But like,
Yeah.
I mean,
the
the
game-
puzzles are fun though. The puzzles actually are really really well done.
Yeah.
How intricate these puzzles get, where fucking walls start coming down like it's the Avengers fucking compound.
Oh,
I'm like,
true.
what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, no, I understand Crafty. Crafty is here saying, I got so frustrated with Shadow at the Water's Edge. I knew what to do, but I had to go talk to 17 people before it would let me do the thing. Rar. Honestly, yeah. It's there's a lot of those types of situations. I stopped at around, I think my last was actually right before that. It was Phantom of Venice. I think that was my last Nancy Drew game. So I stopped at that point. So I stopped at 18 out of 33 games. So I need to go back and play all of them. But yeah, no, interesting choice to start at 19. There's no actual storyline that connects all of them, by the way. So if you're worried about that, there's nothing.
Yeah, I figured. I like because apparently in this game, like this is a new thing where they just added like a top view and you can like walk around the castle grounds and stuff like that. Like as like it's like a top down view and you can just walk around and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Kind of a neat way. Yeah,
That's
and
weird.
you can go to like different places, like the bog area or like the garden area, but you can find stuff on the way there too. So it's cool.
Yeah, I need to.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
I definitely plan on going back in the next few weeks to just. My plan is to go through all of them, but I don't know if I want to do Secrets Can Kill again because that was it was rough. I watched someone else play it recently, the YouTuber Brutal Moose, and that was a rough game. So. Also, the music doesn't make any sense. If you thought a certain show had music that made no sense, cough cough Mario Twin Peaks. There's there's just for some reason they graphically, I don't know why they did this, but you'll walk into the library for the first time. And I know I'm mentioning Secrets Can Kill Again, not the one that you were talking about, but they have the "you're going to get murdered" music when you just walk into the library.
Yep.
And it's just terrifying. And I'm like,
that for
I'm like,
you.
why is this happening? Because I remember playing a few years ago when I was doing Extra Life, and I'm like, why is this music playing? And I got so freaking anxious because I'm like, why is it? Because I remember this music when a specific thing happens at the very end of the game, and I'm like, this is not the music that should be playing right now. But well, I put my hands up. Good choice. I apologize for taking over your segment, Harv, but
No. I'm brand new to this genre, so like I like hearing about the different games and stuff like that. So
mhm.
yeah. All right, so let's go into what we've been watching,
Cool.
and we're gonna start with Sly.
We could go Twin Peaks.
The best Star
Oh.
Wars movie.
The best Star Wars
Oh,
movie
yeah.
is Twin Peaks.
I was saying that to be inflammatory. I watched my favorite Star Wars movie, my number one.
And
And oh no. But yeah, I like to say it's the best Star Wars movie. Just because I like to start shit. But yeah, my favorite Star Wars movie. Can you guess it by my current background?
Star Wars the animated series, but not the one that came.
No, it's
the
Star
Clone
Wars,
Wars.
The Clone Wars.
Yes, the animated, but
film,
not the not the
2008
one that's a show.
animated movie.
Yeah,
I just saw a
that-
green screen and I was like,
that's
Grogu?
the only reason I like that was because Shaggy is in it from Scooby Doo.
But
It's the Clone Wars
yeah,
TV show movie.
Yeah,
I
Oh, it's a TV show movie.
revisited- It's
It came
Not
out in
the one
theaters.
it's the same universe
Yeah, it came out in
okay.
theaters.
as the show, but
I thought we were talking about like the pre-show. There was that like very 2D animated like Grievous.
You're talking
fight thing.
about the Samurai Jack version.
That's not. Oh, I was
That
about
is
to
the
say.
same guy. That's the same
Yeah,
guy.
same guy. I was going to say it's not Samurai Jack, but yeah, no, you're right. You don't remember this slide? You actually said this was really good at some point, so I'm surprised you don't
What?
remember.
No,
What are
Frank,
you
you're
talking
confusing
about?
the thing that they are talking about, which is this. They're talking about it again.
Oh, hold on. I'll
I
post
don't
a
know what the
picture in
fuck you're
general.
talking about. Anyways, I watched my favorite Star Wars movie. It's very good. Fight me. Because we're doing a segment about it. For We'll Throw the After Party. But I went back and I was honestly a little scared. I haven't watched it in like maybe a year or two. And I was like, I don't know if this is as fun as I like remember it being. It absolutely is. It 100% was exactly how I remembered it. So that was very exciting. I had a blast. It's a war movie, but it's a fun war movie. I don't know what to tell you. It holds such a special place in my heart. And I will stand by me saying it's the best Star Wars movie.
Fair. And then I don't okay, we're because I didn't watch anything this week, so
You
We're
didn't see
gonna-
one piece of media.
did I? I watched a lot of YouTube stuff.
That's fair.
Yeah. Plus there was a live letter yesterday, which was pretty exciting. We're gonna talk about Twin Peaks. I know everybody's gonna talk about Twin Peaks here. All four of you guys, even the
Fuck
voice
yeah.
of God is gonna be talking about
Fucking
Twin
love
Peaks here.
Twin Peaks.
So you guys have been rewatching it. I mean, both Fee and Mario have been Mario's been rewatching it. Fee is watching it for the very first time. Fee, I want to start with you, and then we'll go to Sly, and then we'll go to everybody else. Because Fee's wait, Sly, have you watched Twin Peaks before?
Kind of. I wouldn't
Kind of.
say I've watched it. I've seen it. So like I've seen episodes here. I've never like watched it though. You know?
So it's like Seinfeld, where you just saw it, see it, or like Friends or something. You just see it on TV, and it's just there, kind of type thing.
kind of, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Fee. What are your thoughts? about Twin Peaks?
So I finished the first season of Twin Peaks on Wednesday evening with some two great people, but I'll let them talk about it. And then Sly, after you left, Mario was like, "You need to watch this," and
Oh
I'm
no.
like, "Okay, what? This seems weird." He's just like, "You don't need to watch all of it. You just need to watch until the morning," and I'm like, "What the fuck does that even mean?"
What does it even
Um,
mean?
and so I don't think I've been so infuriated by a character before, and me just yelling like, "Call 911! Pick up the phone and call nine do no,
911.
911! Don't pick okay, oh, okay, he's gonna finally pick up the phone. Okay, fantastic." And then he's just like, "I hung up the phone for" I'm like, "No!" I'm like, "Oh my god. Pick up the phone, put
For
it to your ear."
context, we were all hanging out after a recording.
Yeah.
And I stuck around for the last 2 episodes of season 1. And then after we finish, season 1 ends on a very big cliffhanger. And I dipped, and then they continued watching the very beginning of season 2.
And Mario I'm just like, "Mario, does this" I'm just like and then, like, you think it's then it's not over, and then it continues, and then I'm like, "Oh my god, go get someone."
Before you keep going, Mario, is
Sure.
something wrong with the overlay?
I
He's
fixed
fixing
it.
it.
I fixed it.
Okay, cool. Sorry.
So it
Use
continues.
the confidence bar. Which is your friend.
And then it just consistently just like it would not stop. And then a few other things happened, which obviously I'm not gonna spoil it. But like I posted this on Twitter. If you haven't seen my tweet about it, I was like, you know what? Like there's two sides of me in the show. Me watching Twin Peaks for the first time, what is going on in this town, and why is everyone obsessed with Laura Palmer? And also me, I just want all of the sweaters. I just want every
All of the
single the
sweaters.
cardigan game in this fucking show is on point.
They are
And
actually. These are really nice sweaters.
and I'm just like, it's continuously like I still to this day I will stop the show to specifically just look at these sweaters. And they're just awesome. I love I love a good oversized like sweater or cardigan. So this is just a fantastic show for that. I don't know if I could ever like make myself really want to drink black coffee. But I
I
respect.
love a black coffee. I understand it's not for everybody,
Yeah,
but
I'm a little wimp and a weak stomach. I can't do the hard, like black as night coffee. Um,
Thank you
yeah,
for saying the line. Thank you. I respect that. That was good.
Well, Blackest Night coffee.
Dale Cooper likes his coffee as black as night on a oh my god moonless night. Like his coffee black on a moonless night. So
yeah.
Such a fucking David Lynch writing right there.
straight up.
Yeah, it's wild. The last two episodes were bonkers. It's just honestly, and Leo needs to get a new pair of shoes. Leo needs to get a lot of other things before he gets a new pair of shoes. And I could make jokes, but obviously I'm not going to spoil it. Maybe we'll sit down and have a conversation about it on a spoiler cast because I would love to. It's been an absolute delight watching this show. Honestly, it's probably the best time of year to watch it as well. Like it's after spooky season, but it's also still like it's crisp, cool fall weather. It's crisp. No, it's honestly it's awesome. There's a lot of like nods to other shows that I've seen because they've been inspired by Twin Peaks in some capacity. So it's really fun to see those kind of shout outs. And then I'm just like, I'm trying to like remind myself, like, no, it's not they took it from that other show. It's that other show got it from this. So it's just very interesting to see that. I don't know why I've never watched it before, but I think this was honestly a great time.
Oh yeah, it's perfect time. I do want to mention this really quick. Shout out to Apple and their Apple Watch scaring the shit out of me every time I get a message from my Uber Eats. It's just this guy. It just says they're on the way.
Don't say his
That's
name.
creepy.
As long as you don't say their
That's-
name.
I'm not saying his name, but it just says they're on the way.
Creepy.
They know the way.
Sly, what did you think of Twin Peaks?
It was exactly what I expected.
Yeah.
It was a silly, goofy time. People were making choices. Characters had character motivations that were a choice. It was fun. Again, I jumped into the last 2 episodes of the season.
Yeah, I mean, to give
and we'd
context.
occasionally pause and get a context recap.
Yeah, that was fun. The context, of course, is there was like an undercover operation that was going on, and we had to explain that all the characters and what they're doing, why we were wearing weird wigs, why there's a lady with an eye patch,
I will be honest, I very much like the fact that like seeing Sly's reaction and like their entire perspective changing when I had to explain without any like specific spoilers, like, oh, as a heads up, this conversation is happening because he didn't initiate it, she did, and she's there and she was not invited. And Sly's like, whoa, wait a second, okay, now I understand why he's mad and why he's answering the way he is. I'm like, I would also be kind of robotic and awkward if someone did this to me.
Yeah.
So it was just it was so good.
Also, there was the weird moment at the very end where the one dude who was the boss was the like dad of the one girl, and I was like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so if anybody watches Psych here, I don't know if anybody watched that show.
Thank you for bringing this
Great
up.
show.
Thank you so much for bringing this up.
They have an episode called Dual Spires, which is
Yes.
just on point of Twin Peaks. It is a Twin Peaks episode. They go to a place that is just like Twin Peaks. There's a body named Paula Morrell, which is the same thing, like Laura Palmer, pretty much. And they do the same thing. They go to a place that has like a cinnamon festival that they have to go to for Dual Spires, and they got like the whole pie thing. Everybody's acting weird at in the town.
I don't know if you know, but the extra layer to that episode is that all the actors, the guest stars, are all Twin Peaks actors.
Yeah, they're all Twin Peaks actors. Yeah.
So Bob's there, Laura's there. It's
Psych is literally one of the best shows on television that nobody watched. It is fucking amazing.
But can I watch this episode without watching Psych?
Can I just like watch this episode?
You probably could, but I think after you watch this episode, you'll actually start watching Psych because of how good the show is.
I'm down.
I don't know shit about Psych, so I think I think I remember what it's about. I think it's about a guy who who's fake being psychic, and his friend also kind of like hypes him up a little bit on it.
Yeah, he fakes being psychic, but he's very good at deduction and like deduction reasoning and stuff like that. So he sees stuff like other people don't usually because he's really good because his dad taught him how to do it.
Yeah.
And his friend is pretty much his childhood friend that just kind of like goes on with this thing and like kind of just like pumps him up, psychs him up in a way, right?
Yeah, psych him up.
It's a really, really fun episode, and there's one part where they're like, this is the one place that we get service. Like, this is the only place that we get service. We move somewhere else, no service. Here, we get service. It's great. It's a great episode. But yeah, I just wanted to bring that up because I'm a huge Psych fan, and I want more people to watch it. And every year, they make a video or a movie, like the movie, and every year they've made one so far for like
really, it's still going.
Not the actual show, they just make like a movie that's like an hour long.
That's kind of cool.
Unlike Twin Peaks, which of course has 2 seasons, a movie, and a 25-year revival, they came way later. You know.
Yeah, I love Twin Peaks, man. Twin Peaks is a shit.
Okay, before we get into the other thing, that there's multiple aspects of it. Kitchen Nightmares AU, which is Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
I thought it was alternate universe.
Kitchen Nightmares
you guys have
extended
been in the
universe.
MCU way too long, guys. It's time to come out.
No, that's a fan fiction term, my dude.
So Australian version of
Are you watching?
Yeah. So it is
watching what?
Almost is like it's some sort of like I will honestly say it's kind of like a multiverse kind of like it's not. Whoa. Okay, this is
Frank
terrifying.
has my season 3.
I'm holding it hostage.
Basically.
Okay. Well, okay. Kitchen Nightmares Australia is hosted by Colin Fastnage, who is a very popular like TV chef in Australia, and it's the same premise as the UK/the US version of Kitchen Nightmares. It is very weird. Cannot think of the name or term where he acts like Gordon Ramsay, where he is very like outspoken, but he's also very caring. But then like so it feels the same, but then it's also not the same, obviously, because everyone's Australian. So it's just like, okay, I'm very confused as to what's going on. But no, it's a really good show. It's really interesting to hear references of places that I'm just not familiar with. Because like at least with the UK, like I can tell like which locations they're talking about, but in Australia I'm just like, where in Australia are you right now? Because I have like the Blue Mountains, I have no idea what you're talking about. And so
Every
it's
time I watched fucking there was 2 TV shows that I loved as a kid that were both Australian, which was Dance Academy and H2O, and every time they mentioned any location in those, I was like, "Where?"
yeah, I have to keep on like looking it up. And yeah, it's really good. It's also I didn't know how recent it was like actually released because this was like 2021 and 2022. So it's like very very recent. And I'm just seeing like an article here where he's just like, I don't want to be the next like Gordon Ramsay, which I apologize for comparing you to, but you guys literally host the same show format. But no, it's really good. Would highly recommend it. It's really interesting to see the climate of the restaurant business in Australia after COVID. Because they're also like obviously like they talk about the fact that like 1 in every 4 restaurants like fail in the first year in Australia. And especially after COVID. So there's like a lot of like obviously a lot of difficulties after the pandemic. Well, we're still technically in it. Well, after 2022. So it's just very hard hitting. So it's a really good show. Would highly recommend it. You can watch episodes on YouTube, full episodes.
Yeah.
Without
Mostly all the Kitchen Nightmare stuff is on YouTube.
Yeah,
all of it is,
surprisingly,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's it has like honestly, I personally might like it just a little bit more than the US version of Kitchen Nightmares because I find like they turn the dial to 11 because they
It's so
Americanize
fucking
it.
annoying.
But then like the UK one, I really like. This one's like in between the two, so it still has those like kind of like over the top kind of moments, but
Mhm.
nothing in comparison to Kitchen Nightmares
Yeah,
US.
like just piggybacking off what you're saying, like if you've ever seen an episode of American Kitchen Nightmares, they'll do things where like they'll zoom in on someone's face and then they'll play some fucking like shitty sound effect, like something bad's happened, they go "Wah!" like that. Like it's just not good.
There's
I've seen the overseas ones because Gordon Ramsay did have Kitchen Nightmares before, like the US one. Yeah, and then he did like just those episodes where they were totally different, even to the point where like he doesn't really insult people. Like he kind of just goes in, he's very like thoughtful about it, like the way he talks about food and stuff like that. And then the American one, he just comes in like, this place fucking sucks, this food is shit, I hate it. And then here's some loud like laugh track and screaming noises, so then you can know when to like be afraid.
That's why I said Americanize it, because they always have to like turn the show up to 11 when like no offense to American television, but like when it comes to shows like that, they have to Americanize it. Because if you watch like even like the UK version or even the Australian version, yeah, the Australian version has some of those moments, but nothing in comparison, and it's not like in your face consistently. There was even like the latest episode that we watched, it was actually like the owner of the hotel/restaurant lied in his video when he requested him to come to the restaurant. I'm not going to say specifically what happens, like what he lied about. But there was definitely some drama there, but it wasn't like, oh my god, like let's pan into everyone's face consistently and like go crazy. It was a lot of like, okay, this is what happened, and then they broke it down. And I feel like if anything, if this type of episode had happened in the US, they might not have even aired it because it wasn't as over the top as they wanted to, but it was still at the same time like a really shitty situation. So who knows? I personally I would highly recommend it, especially since it's free on YouTube.
Yeah.
Go watch it. You have literally no reason not to.
Yeah. Learn some stuff about some food too.
Yeah, food.
Food.
Heck yeah. No, I like Kitchen Nightmares. Kitchen Nightmares is fun to watch. I like when Gordon Ramsay's calm and collective, and then he goes to loses his shit, you know, because
Mhm.
other people lose his shit. It's not like in Hell's Kitchen where he just loses his shit.
But you got to understand, man. Okay, those people. How the
This is
fuck do you
shit
fuck up
because
the
people are
risotto
idiots.
every time?
Risotto
go-
and scallops, dude. I
How
don't
How is it that you, as a chef, go onto Kitchen Nightmares and have not practiced a million risottos and a million scallops?
I feel like when the cameras are off, just go into the fucking kitchen and just go cook these things for like 4 hours straight.
Learn. How do you fuck up the risotto every time? I feel his frustration because I'm sitting there like, yes, get that motherfucker. Because how do you screw up the risotto?
All right, Pete, we're gonna talk about Gravity Falls, and then we're gonna jump into Chainsaw Man, which you and Frank have watched. But first, Gravity
I will
Falls.
be back. I'm gonna go get my food real quick.
Okay. Gravity Falls, I finished it. I finished the 2 seasons. And honestly, I am very happy that they ended where they did. If you haven't watched it, I'm not gonna go into too much. But they really took the time and really like analyzed the entire show from the first episode to the final episode. And they don't plan on bringing it back. It is a 2 season and done kind of deal because but that was the reason why the end of summer came, because they were only visiting their great uncle Stan for the summer, and then season 2 ends where they leave in some capacity. So that is what happens in the show. Really highly recommend it. The animation style is like fantastic. It was a Disney X show, which
I think it started on Disney and then it moved to Disney XD, if I remember correctly. But yeah, it's really interesting to see you watching the show now because it was something that like what year did this come out? This was, like,
2013.
I was gonna say it was either like 8th or 9th grade for me. Like it was a big thing when I was in school. And so like seeing you watching it from a 2022 perspective has been really interesting.
Inspired by Twin Peaks.
Yeah, so there are a few, and there's a number of Twin Peaks shout outs in the show. I can definitely say that, especially the town itself. But yeah, it came out in the first episode aired June 15th, 2012. So yeah, I personally at the time it was not in my radar. I was definitely at that point, holy crap, what was happening in 2012? World of Warcraft and anime for me. So I just wasn't really interested in
I
Gravity.
was in 8th grade.
The election.
Yeah, so there was a lot of things going on, and it wasn't really on my radar. Actually, I know someone who did some of the comic book covers, for for the comics. A really cool person. And by the way, not to get mixed up with the actual Mike Holmes on Holmes. It's a illustrator named Mike Holmes, who I have worked with in the past. Did some covers for them. And also did things for like Adventure Time and stuff like that. So really cool. Yeah, it's honestly it came on my radar, one because it was on Disney Plus, two because there was someone who animated the entire Lammy Lammy song, like Lammy Lammy song from the show, with Cult of the Lambs. And I was just like, this is adorable. And one of the girls that I work with, shout out Lou, she's just like, you need to watch this show. You would really, really like the show. And I'm like, okay, I will watch it. I'll watch a few episodes. And then I ended up watching all of it. So yeah, definitely. I feel like I should have watched this sooner. But yeah, instead I watched things like Bob's Burgers and stuff like that. which is obviously more Western animation than I usually watch. So,
Yeah.
no, overall, honestly, 10 out of 10 would highly recommend the show.
Nice. All right, I'm gonna let you two now go off of Chainsaw Man.
Oh, okay, cool. I thought you were gonna do the other one. Okay, Chainsaw Man, fantastic show.
All right, okay. So what we've been reading? I'm just kidding. What is? Tell me about Chainsaw Man. Or
Okay,
tell everybody about
Frank,
Chainsaw
you
Man.
tell everyone about.
You are
Chainsaw
muted.
Man.
Why don't you tell them your experience with Chainsaw Man? Because I've already talked about my love for it. I want to talk more about the anime stuff, but B, you're coming into this blind.
Correct. Other than seeing a few, like, obviously some things that happen in the show, not show, but the manga. But yeah, it's a honestly a really good show so far. I am a huge fan of Mappa. By the way, Mappa, you really need to let some of your animators take a vacation because holy
Yeah.
fuck.
Everything just looks so fucking good
Yeah, no.
in their stuff.
For some context, they released this year alone. They released Attack on Titan season 5 part 1, and then also no, Jujutsu Kaisen 0 was last year. They also had this show and then another swimming anime in the summer, and have been working on obviously Attack on Titan season 5 part 2 and Jujutsu Kaisen season 2. Anyway, there's a shit ton of stuff that they're working on right now, and so for that reason y'all need some like shut eye at some point. But no, it's a wow.
Yeah.
I was not expecting as much gore. Mind you, I did know that there was going to be gore coming into the show, but I did not know it was going to be as much as there was.
There's a ton.
Yeah, I love the character, his little buddy, Pachita, who
Pachita!
is a little dog that has a chainsaw coming out of his nose because he is actually a demon, who is the demon of chainsaws. For people who don't know the concept of Chainsaw Man, the premise is this is a world where demons roam the earth, and depending on how feared you are, the larger and terrifying you're going to be. Which I'm shocked that the chainsaw is not bigger than it was. Especially finding out the real purpose and the true original reasoning for the chainsaw, which by the way, I don't Google it because it's horrendous.
Oh yeah. And you sent me that TikTok. I was like, what the fuck?
Definitely not a good thing. But so I thought it would be a little bit larger than Pachita, but Pachita's adorable. If you don't know who they are, it's a little orange character that has a chainsaw sticking out of his nose. But yeah, I really liked it. I was slightly concerned because I did hear about the animation type. Because they brought a lot of CGI, kind of like 3D models for a lot of sections. But then after watching it, I'm like, I don't think anyone would have been able to finish this anime or complete the animation if they didn't go this route. Yeah, it is insane.
Yeah. The animation's pretty good. Like people were complaining about it, like it was like Berserk CGI level. And I don't see it. There is some cases where like characters are obviously looking, and if they move their head, you can see how 3D they are. Those parts are a little bit weird just because like there's a lot of 2D mixed in with that 3D. But for the most part, from at least on the research I did on it, it seems like most of the like CGI stuff is just backgrounds for the most part. Some of the stuff is CGI, obviously, because you know you gotta do what you gotta do, right, to get something like this out. But it's mostly backgrounds, and even then, I'm just like, wow, like this show looks amazing. Like if this is a future, like a lot of people are saying, like using CGI backgrounds instead of having people like animate a background, redraw it every frame. That's going to be like, you know, what people do to like kind of mitigate the amount of like animation or animators you're going to need to do a project like this now.
Yeah, I mean, with the amount of work that they already have, it makes sense to do stuff like that. And I would kind of also understand for things like his mechanics, because obviously he turns into a chainsaw man. So a lot of the animation there makes sense to have it kind of CGI'd because of almost like the unrealistic metallic that they're looking for. So I think it added some character to it. So I was really happy with how it went. Um, but yeah, there's it's a lot of comedy because like obviously in a show like this you need to have that kind of balance from high intense gore to some comedy to be able to lighten it up because this isn't Berserk.
Mhm.
So for context, Berserk is just highly depressing throughout.
Berserk is highly depressing almost 100% of the time.
Yeah, there's barely any positive story wise, like insane, like
Mhm.
good, but overall
Yeah,
depressing.
Fujimoto's a weirdo. Yeah, he writes a weird story, but I love the man.
He definitely was. Rest in peace, by the way.
Oh no,
but
I'm talking about I was talking about Chainsaw Man's writer
Oh,
Fujimoto.
okay, sorry, my apologies. I was just like, wait, what? Okay, so yeah, that makes sense. No, it's overall really good. I am very excited to see the rest of the animated, like the season 1. And yeah, I'm very excited to see what happens. And yeah, maybe we get to see the ball, like the ball demon. Who knows?
The Nut Devil.
The net devil. Yeah.
Yep, there is in this universe there is a testicle devil. It does exist.
Excellent. I look forward to never seeing that.
Yeah. Just to piggyback off it really quick, because I've already talked about Chainsaw Man before, so I'm not going to reiterate what I said before. I love the manga. The manga is absolutely beautiful, genius in some ways. Very just Fujimoto's a fucking psychopath, but I love him for it. But yeah, no, the manga's really good. The show so far is like I don't see what they took out yet because like it's for the most part just like following the manga pretty damn well. I do like the how we found out about the endings as well because as me and Fia are like, yeah, dude, Mappa, you're fucking killing it, man. Like we would get to the end of an episode and we realize like, wait, is this different? Because I don't think opening like the show opened with an actual opening.
Yeah.
Like on episode 1.
Yeah,
which is uncommon.
Yeah, usually they don't open episode 1 with the actual like opening song. But then found out the reason why is because all 12 episodes has a different ending. Like, why? Why are you doing this to yourself? It's just like 12 songs, 12 animations, 12 different and they're all different. They're different tones. Some of them are happy, some of them are like grunge, like
the one we saw, the ending 3, even if you don't know what Chainsaw Man is, go Google on YouTube Chainsaw Man ED3. It is some fucking acid trip level of crazy, and I'm all for it.
Yeah. It's
but
insane.
Yeah, Chainsaw Man, really good so far. We're what 4 episodes in? I want to say 3 or 4.
Yeah, about that. Yeah,
either 3 or 4 episodes in. I think since we haven't watched it, 2 episodes have come out. I know because we had one in reserve, and I think another one has come out since then. So, yeah, go check it out. Go check out the manga too. The Fuji, like the manga is absolutely just fucking perfect.
Heck yeah. All right. Now, Sly's the only person that put in what we've been reading. So, Sly, the entire floor is yours.
Yeah, all I've been doing basically this week is reading shit. I've been reading some old stuff. I reread the Vampire Banquet 911 series. I reread, oh gosh, what is this fic called? I do want to mention it by name if I can find it. But it's a leverage fic. And why do I have so many leverage fics on here? Oh, it's Opening the Door, and it's based on the episode with the old gay farmers from Leverage Redemption, and it's just delicious. So I reread that. And then what else have I been reading? There's a new Teen Wolf fic that's a YouTuber / musician AU that is fairly recent. It's delicious. It's mixed media, very fun. It's just very funny, light. Because I have not been reading a lot of light things. Because I've been reading a lot of all for the game fanfics. But there is one that I did read this week, and it's basically a retelling of a canon, but with one character having like a different backstory. And this fic is what canon thinks it is, or what canon wishes it could be. Things are just handled a lot better than in canon. But I found this fic via an outside source. I opened it up. I looked at the chapter count and I was like, "Oh, there's 55 chapters. It's done. That's great." I started reading it. I got to chapter 52. Cool, great. Move on to chapter 53 and it's like an author's note being like, "Hey, sorry, I'm taking a break from this fic." It turns out the chapter count actually said 53 out of 55, and it's incomplete and hasn't been updated in
Oh
like a
no.
year and a half. And I was devastated. It was great. It was so good. I mean, like, all the warnings for canon apply to this fic. But it's just a really good retelling, but it's not finished. And so if you
That
want to know
unfinished
more,
story.
let me know. I'll tell you. But it's so good. But I was just it's so convinced that it was a completed fic that it was like a surprise that it was incomplete. That really caught me off guard.
That's that's when you get invested in something for so long and then all of a sudden it's not. It's you just it doesn't end. You're just like, oh my god, now I'm just
Yeah,
stuck in
it's
limbo the
like
entire time.
180,000 words or whatever. Like, it's a thick fic. So I was in it. But yeah, no. Fun little dyslexia moment, and I don't know how to read. But yeah, it was great. I've been reading a lot of Off of the Game fan fiction. Yes, I do hate myself. It's fine. We're not talking about it.
I looked up if there was Twin Peaks and Halo fan fiction. Turns out there is.
There is. COD is getting really big on AO3 right
Oh,
now.
gee, I wonder why.
The baby girlification of Ghost has been a big thing lately.
I'm actually okay with that. If it means more people are gonna play Call of Duty, I'm actually kind of happy. You go Ghost.
It's a great time.
Yeah,
I'm really enjoying the edits.
They're so look. I can't deny it, dude. Soap and Ghost and Call of Duty Modern Warfare are so flirtatious. Like it's definitely like it hits levels of flirting where I'm like, yeah.
Is there more to explore
love
here?
that for them.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's plenty of exploration. If you want to go on their ship tag on
Oh yeah. No,
AO3,
we're talking about fan fiction.
there's fanfic up the wazoo.
Mario is the voice of God is very excited right now.
It just brings me so much joy. It's really funny.
All right. Now we're gonna jump in to the patch notes, and we're gonna first I want to talk about the Grogu thing because we're gonna do that, and then we'll go into the topic itself.
Yeah.
So, Studio Ghibli teased out yesterday that they're working on something that's Star Wars. A lot of people thought it was fake because Twitter is what it is right now. But they teased out something that they're working on Star Wars, and they released today that it's going to be releasing tomorrow. So it's going to be a short movie that's going to be released tomorrow. I know Fee is very, very excited about this because I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan. I really like their films. I'm not a Grogu fan, so like they got 1 and 2 for me, but I'm gonna watch it because I'm a huge Studio Ghibli fan. Fee, what are you thinking? The smile that you have.
Yeah, no,
Oh, there he is. There he is.
I lost my mind. So yes, at exactly 11 a.m. my time yesterday, they posted a tweet, and it was just the Lucasfilms, and then it went to Studio Ghibli, and then that was it. And then they had a post which was insane, which was a little while after that. Actually, it was literally today at the exact same time, which is now very interesting to see that, like, looking at the actual timestamps. They had a little figurine of Grogu that said "This is the way" on the bottom. And for people who don't know, if you don't know, then I don't know if you're like, if you have, and I'm not trying to like gatekeep by any stretch. I don't know if you know Studio Ghibli, if you don't know the person who's blurred out in the behind, because that's Hayao Miyazaki, who is literally one of the co-founders of Studio Ghibli, which means that this man has literally worked on this project, and I died. Which actually I'm gonna like hold off and talk about like my thoughts on like overall Studio Ghibli, because that's going to be a part of my answer. It's just insane. Two things that I've loved for over 2 decades are now coming together, even if it's just a short. Like, this is absolutely phenomenal. And so I'm very excited. I love Grogu. I don't have Grogu with me currently. He's currently in the other one of my other rooms. I have obviously the large kind of like Grogu. But no, Studio Ghibli is just literally. I'm so
So
excited. I am gonna watch it like probably 10 times and cry the entire time. So I'm gonna open up a fresh Kleenex box and be prepared to just cry the entire time.
it definitely opens up room or avenues for Studio Ghibli to work with LucasArts again. You know what I mean? Like, there's no way this is a one and done. They're never gonna touch Star Wars ever again.
Yeah, there was like, here's the thing. For a while, Disney was actually their ability to release Studio Ghibli films to the West for a long time. And if people are unaware, there is the famous story where he actually sent a katana to Harvey Weinstein because
Serious?
Harvey told
No
him.
fucking shot.
So yeah, Harvey told him to cut down Princess Mononoke, and he said, if you want to cut things, like, he literally sent a katana and said, if you want to cut things down, here's how you can do it. So it said no cuts, which was the actual, like, it said no cuts, and it
On
had
the
a
blade?
katana. No, it was
Okay.
it was attached, like a note attached to this blade which said no cuts.
What a fucking Giga Chad,
And
dude.
because he's
That's
just
my
like,
Miyazaki right there.
this man, so no, he's just like, no, absolutely not. Which fucking kudos to him. But yeah, oh man, I'm so excited. I'm very hopeful to see Studio Ghibli in more context, in things like a more like what if format. Maybe
Did they
seeing
do something for Visions, or were they not part of it?
I don't
They were not a
know,
part of
because
it.
Okay.
I didn't watch it myself, because I know oh god, what is it? There's another studio that I'm like a huge fan of, did stuff for it. I don't think Mappa did, but I know the original studio for Attack on Titan actually did it. Which for some reason I cannot think of it off the top of my head. I know it starts with a freaking W, and I'm so angry that I'm kicking myself. Oh god. I don't want to say like, why is like what, I don't remember. So either way, I'm really excited. I've been freaking out about it. And I've been losing my mind.
Wit Studio.
Wit. Oh my god, I could not. I was just like, it's not wise, and I'm like, I cannot.
They did the first 3 seasons, and then Mappa took over
They
afterwards.
did, because they said they couldn't handle the amount
Pressure?
of what they would need. Not pressure, it's just how much they would need to do. Which for
Production-wise.
people, yeah, production wise, because it's insane. But no, overall, oh my god, yeah, I've already said it like a billion times. I'm just insanely excited.
How long do you guys think this short's gonna be?
30
15
minutes at the very
minutes.
most.
I'm
So
saying 15.
15 minutes?
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
say 15, safe bet, but like
I'll
at the
say
very most 30.
12.
12 minutes? Voice of God, what are you saying?
I'm saying a smooth 20.
Okay.
With 20.
What's a rough 20?
Most
10 minutes of
episodes-
actual stuff and 10 minutes of credits.
Most seasons of The Simpsons.
Oh, yeah, that's a rough 20.
Nice.
That is a rough 20.
That is rough. Yeah, there it is. Yeah, I'm expecting like 12 to 15 minutes probably. I'm like it's not gonna be anything like crazy, like lore based. I think it's just gonna be something cute, something gonna be fun to watch, and something that's gonna be heartfelt.
Sorry, my voice got here. My thing
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
you don't just do a Miyazaki Star Wars thing and
we
only
look
do
up?
it for like 5 minutes. Like,
I knew he was about to go into a proverb. Like, you don't just think, you do.
Yeah. Thank you, voice of God. We'll translate that down here for us. Yeah, that is true. It is true. Like you don't tap like the Studio Ghibli to like do like 5 minutes or something, right? You want to give them something. You want them to do something that is a little bit longer. I'm expecting like 15 minutes. I would say 15 to 20 minutes of something. Like something like that's the length of like a Groot short, or was Groot? How long was Groot shorts? They were like what, 15 minutes?
no, they were like 2 minutes,
Oh, like all together, I guess, all together.
5 minutes.
Well, I know they just
Wow,
released.
really?
a
That's
bunch-
it? Oh my god. Okay, never mind.
They released just a bunch of shorts for Zootopia. So it might like on Disney Plus. So that's why I'm kind of saying about 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Who knows? Depends on what Mr. Miyazaki was thinking or thought he
Yes,
would.
and for
Yeah.
anybody that has not seen any Studio Ghibli films, go watch Studio Ghibli films. They are so fucking good.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I recently rewatched most of them last year, and I enjoyed them so much. Very, very good movies. Very good movies.
I would like a
That's my
compilation.
foray to anime.
I would like a compilation of just kind of the most base shit that Miyazaki has done. Because Miyazaki's fucking crazy. I love that man.
I mean,
Hey.
he said some pretty not so great things too.
Yeah, I know he's kind of a psychopath in the same way, but look, he even said to himself, anime was a mistake. Let's be real here.
I just want to say both Miyazakis are thriving right now. Just want to say
Okay,
that.
should I have mentioned that I thought that Miyazaki was helping make Elden Ring for a good little bit there? Because I didn't know there was two Miyazakis.
Shout out to both the Miyazakis.
Hayao Miyazaki and Hideki Miyazaki. Great. Yeah, I'm excited. I think all of if you're in Netflix Canada, I think all the Miyazaki film or the Studio Ghibli films are on Netflix. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
And I don't know how it is in America, but
HBO,
HBO
I think.
Max.
HBO Max. Okay.
Boom. I knew it.
Yeah. I mean, if all else fails, it's on HBO Max. And this comes out tomorrow. So does this come out at midnight tonight?
Probably.
Midnight tonight. Okay. Cool.
If he's staying up.
Cool.
Oh man,
It
probably.
is.
I can see the realization in your eyes. You're like, fuck, you're right.
I mean midnight Eastern time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Midnight Eastern time. Yeah.
Oh, I already have it open.
Hurry up.
Just
She's
refresh.
F5ing.
Refresh it, yeah, just
F5ing like a
refreshing
motherfucker.
Okay, we're gonna get into the topic of the show. I don't know what I think. This could go quick, or this could go slow, or like we could expound on this a little bit more. But Jose Ruckus, we asked the audience about a question that they could ask on the podcast, and Jose Ruckus came in and said, "What piece of art / media changed your view or change your worldview the most, and how?" I thought about this, and I'm still trying to think about an answer for this, but I want to go to Frank first.
Good. I already have an answer. You ready?
Okay.
A little film made a few decades ago called "Dude, Where's My Car?" Now, this film absolutely changed my fucking life. Ashton Kutcher's in this. I don't even remember what the other guy's name is. I think he's
Sean William Scott.
There you go. Bam. See, Voice of God already knows what I'm talking about because he knows, because our God is fucking Zoltan. You can't see it, but God is also making the Zoltan logo. But yeah, no, this is a bro story about two dudes who just fucking lose their car, man. They're just trying to get their car back, and they're just doing a thing where they're just going back and retracing their steps from the night before because they got hella drunk, and they're just trying to figure out what happened. You know what I mean? There's some tattoos involved. There's some cars. There's aliens. I think the government's involved at some point.
I don't think I've ever been so drunk where I lost where my car was.
They have a very good reason, if I remember correctly. I think they sell
I
it.
lose where my car is completely sober all the time.
See, Harv, the car is abducted by aliens, so I mean,
Yeah, the car is also abducted by aliens.
Fair.
Yeah,
but like,
and they get probed at some point. I don't know. It's weird. Like they have to get like some kind of weird relic or something like that.
How did that change your life perspective?
It didn't. I'm joking,
okay.
but
okay. What about cars differently?
I hate to keep bringing it up because like I had to bring up something because my answer has literally been answered a few times here, and that's Metal Gear Solid. This Metal Gear Solid series have changed just the way I look at about anything in life, right? Like the way the war is seen through the economy, the way soldiers are treated after war is over, the way the world kind of reacts to these things of what's happening in the world, the possibility of stuff like Illuminatis and stuff like that. It's a very extensive kind of deep dive in different things. I can't spoil Metal Gear Solid 2 without spoiling it, but Mario knows exactly what I'm talking about. A lot of what happens in Metal Gear Solid 2 is happening within our... Huh?
He was like 30 years old, man.
So are you. Anyway, yeah, it's great. I love it. Metal Gear Solid 2 is amazing. Metal Gear Solid 3 is literally like just perfection. It's changed a lot of things in my life and just how I look at the broader scope of the world, right? It might not all be true and it might not all be things, but there's a lot of parallels within the Metal Gear series that like parallel our real life and our real life politics. And like growing up and having that kind of different viewpoint of things as opposed to what you just see on the regular news absolutely is just it was an eye-opener. And I wouldn't probably be as like, you know, skeptical on politicians and stuff like that if I never played that game.
Okay, that makes sense. I've never played Metal Gear Solid, so I can't really relate to that, but I know there's a really long ladder at some point. And that's all I really know.
The best thing in the world.
That ladder.
Mhm.
All right, Sly, what about you? How about you?
Oh, I've been struggling with this question not because I don't have answers, but because I have too many answers. Because the question is like art/media, and like I'm like, what genre are we talking about? Because like I have a different answer for like music or like ballet, like maybe Coppelia, or like musical theater. I would say next to normal. I think I have to go with two answers. First one being at a young age, and the second one being much more recently. But I think my first answer has to be The Secret Garden, and that story in legitimately any context. The book, it was, you know, a fundamental part of my childhood. The movie was also, the musical a little later. Each of those adaptations changed my perspective on the world and the story at a different time in my life. So like they're all just like so fundamental to who I am. I'm still obsessed with the book. But yeah, like the story of The Secret Garden really did a lot for me growing up. More recently, uh yes, this is a fan fiction, but bear with me. There's a fic I've probably mentioned it when I first read it on the show. It's called Tell Me About Despair. And it's not an easy to get into read. You really have to understand like the nuance of the 911 TV show and all the traumas associated with it. And it's like 150,000 words. but the story of it is one of the characters going to therapy and talking about all of the millions of traumas they've experienced in the show, and throughout the fic, like, learning that happiness is, like, a tangible concept and not just, like, a thing for other people to experience. And the time I read that fic, that was a message that, like, I really needed to hear. And it was, at a really rough point, that I found this fic, or actually, I think it came out, like, I got it in my inbox, because I love the writer. But yeah, Tell Me About Despair, this fic, like, revolutionized my perspective on, like, my relationship to myself and the world, and it's just so beautiful and so beautifully written. So that's, like, my more recent answer.
Nice. That's cool. That's awesome.
Nice.
V, how about you?
Okay. So
Cult of the Lamb.
Cult of Lambs.
cults. No.
Let me tell you about cults.
Yeah,
Come to
no.
Seattle. Apparently, we have a bunch of cults here.
Wouldn't be shocked. No, okay, so there's two things, mostly because I saw art and media. So I'm going to talk about two things briefly. One of which, when I was a kid, I had one piece of art, or at least a print of a piece of art on the wall of my room. And it was Sunflowers by Van Gogh. I've been a fan of his since I was probably like 7 or 8 years old. My art teacher talked about him, and I was just incredibly fascinated. I've loved his art style since I was very, very young. His use of like dark, kind of like navy blues with like the golden colors have just been. I always find it like very mesmerizing, and I've always really enjoyed it. So it's also reason why I loved art from a young age was because of his style. It's just overwhelmingly beautiful, but also very sad at the same time. As someone like, obviously I saw his art when I was a child, and now seeing it as an adult and knowing more about his life, I actually went to one of like there was an experience. A lot of cities had pop-ups over the summer, and that was actually one of the things I got to do for my birthday. So I went to one of them, and I started crying in the middle of the room. I'm pretty happy that it was dark, but it was like really sad. And one of my favorite episodes of Doctor Who of all time. If you ever see that episode, be prepared to just sob if you are familiar
Oh.
with the story.
Yeah, if you
Mm,
never,
It's a good
yes.
It's a good
It's
one.
a fucking tearjerker, man.
Yeah, there's other artists that I have become a huge fan of, but that's just always resonated with me. And then also when I was 6 years old, I was given a VHS tape of a very like very unknown movie called Kiki's Delivery Service. And I watched that movie on repeat until it broke. And I loved that movie. And I've been a Studio Ghibli film fan for, like I said earlier, and that's why I didn't want to go into too much. I've been a fan for well over 2 decades. And it's just has always inspired me artistically. So two very like beautiful but yet dark artists.
Mhm.
Because there's some really dark themes in the Studio Ghibli films. One of which, for example, Nausicaa Valley of the Wind, which is about pollution and how maybe the creatures aren't the bad people, but actually the humans. Same thing goes for Princess Mononoke. And then one that really like just hit me like overall, I think even like movie experience wise, and if I could like if someone ever asked me like if you could watch a movie for the first time again, which one would it be? And it would be Spirited Away, because that movie from start to finish is a masterpiece, and I will hands down say that it is phenomenal. um if you haven't seen Spirited Away, I'm not going to judge you, but I would highly recommend, and I'm very jealous of you going in and being able to watch that for the first time, because it's just such beautifully done, and it also recognizes a lot of like negative impacts that humans have. That's a lot of what Hayao Miyazaki does in his films. He does introduce some things that like humans do that ruins the earth in some capacity. And so there's, for example, there's No Face, which is the embodiment of greed, and then there's also a spirit that like essentially a trash spirit is what they initially thought. I'm not going to tell you what happens, but I would highly recommend it from start to finish. Also, the food just looks bomb in their show movie, like in those movies. Like the food just looks amazing. But no, the story, each and every one of the stories that Hayao Miyazaki has done has just been over the top amazing. I am a huge fan of Spirited Away, Kiki's Delivery Service, Nausicaa the Valley of the Wind. Oh my god, Howl's Moving Castle, and just like the list goes on. Obviously, My Neighbor Totoro, I literally have a Totoro poster right there. And I have some other prints that I need to put up around my room. So I'll probably put some up over there because it's yeah, no, it's just overall artistically and just my perspective on life in general has been significantly changed because of those two people. So Hayao Miyazaki and Van Gogh, or what people like to say.
Miyazaki could just not escape this podcast this week.
Nope, he's never going to leave this podcast. I'm going to talk about him every week now. That is now my goal.
Mario, put up a picture of Miyazaki if you can, smiling. If you can find one.
Catching these hands.
Also, there's a very fun clip of him online. If you look up Hayao Miyazaki and ramen, one day he just like makes a massive pot of ramen for his staff. It's like this huge ass pot, and he's just like standing there, just like no fucks given. He's just like, I'm just making ramen, and just like this, like
Did
the
you get
pot's
some ramen?
like this. It's like this, and it's like
Yeah.
this, and he just fills it to the brim, and you're like, that should overflow, but no, this man just cooks his ramen
Just
and then
knows.
serves it up for everybody, and then he's just like, there you go. He is a very harsh critic though, so yeah, very harsh critic.
All right. Mine. I've been thinking about this. There are three things that kind of come into mind for me. One is when I first read Lord of the Rings. When I first read Fellowship, Two Towers, and Fellowship of the Ring, or Return of the King. I was that I don't know, somehow this series just kind of changed how I looked at like books and just general reading and stuff like that, because like I never knew that fantasy was like this. Nice. That fantasy was like this, and I have been a fantasy fan ever since those books ever came out. And then watching the movies, I couldn't believe how well they encapsulated how well that you could take a fantasy genre and put it into movies. And the way Peter Jackson just kind of like took the essence of Lord of the Rings, it really changed. Like ever since then, I've been trying to read more and more fantasy or fantasy books as I can. So I'm going through the Wheel of Time and stuff like that now as well because of Lord of the Rings. And the good thing about Lord of the Rings, the cool thing about Lord of the Rings is that it does have like that thing where it's like kind of like what Miyazaki is saying about his films. Like maybe we're the bad people around here. And looking at Lord of the Rings, when you see like Isengard and stuff like that, what they're doing to like the environment, what they're doing to the Ents, and what they're doing to nature and stuff like that, is like the Industrial Revolution in a way, but in his perspective, in Tolkien's perspective, because a lot of it is based off of him at war, because he was part of World War One, and him trying to rectify that and stuff like that. So that was one of them. The other one was The Last of Us Part 1. When I played that game for the first time, I had no idea that a story like that, it was the first 40 minutes of that story, and it just fucking destroyed me. Like it literally like I had to sit there for like at least like 20-30 minutes of just like, do I even want to keep playing this? Is this what this game is gonna be? Because I think it's just like it kind of showed me how well actors are in games, because it was the first game that I think that I played that had a really, really good story and a really good script, and that was conveyed by voice actors with their performances. And I don't think any other game before that really hit me as hard as The Last of Us did. And it kind of I'm a story whore. I love story, I love lore, and I love that kind of type thing. And it really brought out like it's a bar now for me. Like it has to be as good as that game or better now at this point if I want like a good story. I want to experience a good story.
Would you say
and-
Final Fantasy is better?
Well, some of them are, some of them aren't. Well, Final Fantasy 14, or are you just talking about Final Fantasy in general?
Yes.
In general, probably not. Final Fantasy 14, but see, the thing about Final Fantasy 14 is that it's 10 years of like it got
Of
good
storytelling.
after of storytelling, right? Like
Mm.
you have so much baggage when it comes to like that. But like when it comes to The Last of Us, it's a tight 10-hour experience, and just
Yeah, I think it's like about 10 hours, right? Yeah.
10-12 hour experience of just it keeps you engaged the entire time, just because how they build the story out and how the characters interact with the world. The last one is it's another Miyazaki. It's another Miyazaki, but it's the
I'll
other
put
one.
him up, Mario. Put up the picture.
It's
If you check
Hideki
Discord, I put
Miyazaki
up a fresh one.
because of Dark Souls. I think Dark Souls is probably one of the most influential games of the world of this generation, or of like any generation, honestly, because of how much everybody borrows from it. For me, it's the world that he created, and how everything. When you take the world of Dark Souls, you bring it out. Every place in that game is connected somehow. There are no like places where you can't get from point A to point B without, like, you could run from point A to point B for that entire world. Most of the time you have to like teleport to other places and stuff like that. This whole world is all connected, and just seeing it, how well it all kind of flows through and makes sense of why you're going in this like way, in this direction and stuff. It's just masterfully done. And the storytelling, I like when you do like Lord of the Rings or like The Last of Us, the storytelling is right in your face, right? It's like in your face. But with Dark Souls, it is stuff that you have to get from items. You have to get from like NPCs are very cryptic about it and stuff like that. And they're just like piecing all the lore together, and you're like, oh my god, that fucking makes sense. And then like 3 hours later, you're like, holy fuck. All right, now things are just falling into place. I don't know if you experienced this, Frank, when you were playing Elden Ring, because like that's how the
Oh yeah, no,
storytelling is done. Storytelling is done.
They definitely use the world itself to tell the story, and I do appreciate that. I really did like Elden Ring's just way of it, how it naturally kind of puts you to an area. Like you naturally want to go north because it just the way the roads work and everything like that, it kind of takes you to a direction. Even when you're kind of lost and you're like, where the hell do I go? It's still kind of, if you just look, it's like, oh, okay, obviously I go this way, right?
Yeah.
And then the way the world tells those stories too, like the plague world, like the plague area and stuff like that. Like you can tell something happened in this world, and you're slowly going into it. You're walking in, then you're deciphering it through its quests and stuff like that. It's really cool. It's a really cool, unique way to tell a story.
Yeah, I enjoy environmental storytelling so much more than I did way back, because I went to experience like good natural world storytelling, and like the world around you is just, it's hard to not see that in other games, which is why I'm excited for God of War once I get to it, because I know they're gonna have a really well crafted story. But yeah, those have been like a big pillar for me. Fantasy's been a big pillar because I enjoy fantasy way more than I enjoy like sci-fi. There's only some things I can get into sci-fi. Like Battlestar Galactica was one of them, but I got really into sci-fi. I like Star Wars, but I'm not that big of a fan of Star. Like I like it just by like just coming by and be like, yo, this looks this cool. But like when it comes to fantasy, I'm a huge fan. And I think that really has kind of shaped who I am for what kind of media that I consume.
Nice.
You know what you should get into? Neon Genesis Evangelion. I feel
Oh
like it
hell
would be-
yeah, bro! Harv, watch Evangelion, dude.
That's
I
like
haven't watched
honestly,
Edge Runners yet.
here's the thing. The reason why I mention this is because a lot of the things that they have to fight against remind me a lot of just like Elden Ring like bosses. They're just terrifyingly weird and sinister creatures
Grotesque.
that are
I mean,
like
you guys
based on
have.
angels.
Oh well, we're gonna experience this soon. Fiona and I are gonna
yeah.
experience this soon. We're going through our Bloodborne playthrough. We're starting that, and I cannot wait to see all of the bosses that she has to go through, because she's gonna nope out of probably 90% of them. She's gonna nope out of, because one is called the Blood-Starved Beast, where he's just covered in blood the entire time, and he's got like flaps that are like flapping around that like emit poison. It's great. It's great.
Also, like while you were talking about Lord of the Rings, I wanted to like randomly get off topic for a second. So I found this the other day when I was trying to look for something to read. And I forgot that I got this a long time ago, but like I was just like, oh, like what is this book? I don't know what this book is, and then found out that it's
oh my
the
god, I was
fucking-
gonna make a joke, but that is the
Yeah.
book.
Yeah.
That is
that
the
is-
original one where he hand wrote.
No, it is not.
No, that's
because
his son took over that one.
yeah,
That is a lot of the new show kind of covers a lot of the stuff that's in that book.
yeah, this is the 1977 edition.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah, it is an old book. I got it like because I was just like I remember getting it at a used bookstore a long time ago, and I was just like, man, I think this would be really cool. And then I completely forgot about it. So it was just sitting on my like bookshelf that's not here obviously because this is just all board games. I swear I have books in this apartment. But yeah, I have not started it because I'm like my brain cannot handle this right now because
It's a
there's,
lot.
like,
It's a
there's-
lot.
there's images of like Gandalf like as if he was reading some of the storylines. So it's just like if you're reading The Hobbit, it's just like him just being all jolly and then him going through the Lord of the Rings, and it's like a little bit more difficult, but like by all means like he'll handle it. But then he gets to like the Silmarillion, and then it's just like him just like stacks of like books and like papers everywhere, and him like trying to figure out what's going on and looking disheveled and stressed. So yeah.
It's so interesting to see the show and the way that they've gone because like people don't recognize like know like or don't recognize of how in the past that show is and how like where we are and stuff like that in that place because like we're doing what I think it's the second age
Second
that
age.
they're doing that they're doing, and just knowing like who the queen is of Numenor and stuff like that. It's so interesting to see that we actually saw something on television that is covering that storyline.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that was ever going to happen. I really never thought it was ever going to happen.
Yeah, the problem is like the show, and like I think someone explained this, it's like based on like this much of the book. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
so it's based on this much because the rest of it is a time that they are legally not allowed to talk about, which is the Third Age. The
Yeah.
Third Age is off limits. You cannot talk about the Third Age, and a lot of
Wait,
the
seriously?
story, yeah,
Why?
legally because the like the like the
Tolkien
Tolkien
estate.
estate is just like
Oh,
you can't
it's
talk
one of
about
those.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because no, Christopher Tolkien, who actually a lot of these stories are a bunch of stories that his father wrote and he edited them down and put them into this book. He hated the Lord of the Rings trilogy movies. Like he thought they were horrendous and they were made for younger people and should not have been made. So he was quite the man. Rest in peace, I guess, because he passed away in 2020. But
Who knows, man? Enough money can make anybody talk, right?
it took a lot just for them to be able to talk about the Rings of Power. It
Mhm.
took Bezos money to get the
The
ability.
Tolkien estate is pretty like locked down when it comes to their IP. And it does suck because they can't talk about the Third Age because a lot of the stuff that they're doing in the Second Age is really does affect what happens in the Third Age. It really, really does. And looking at like the history of everything that happens, like a lot of Middle Earth changes because of stuff that happens in the Second and Third Age. Like so many things that like because of all the people from Numenor have to go into Middle Earth now because like their whole place has been destroyed. They have to like go into Middle Earth, and that all happens after the Second Age and stuff like that. And it's very, very interesting. But they can't touch that stuff. They can't show any of that stuff because like they're just not allowed. So like I knew when I heard that before the show even came out that it was going to be a hindrance for the show itself because you can't restrict the stuff. Like it's history that happens in like it's fake history obviously, but like it's history in the show that happened or in the books that happened. You have to at least kind of reference it a little bit. But they weren't allowed to.
Yeah. Do you think they'll ever have? I mean, like I said, money talks, right? Like, if getting the Rings of Power made was a power move, and with Bezos' money to begin with, do you think that we could possibly see down the road in our lifetime them doing that third era stuff?
I mean, there's a lot of seasons planned for this show already, so I don't know where they're going with it at the end of it. I haven't finished it yet. I'm almost done now at this point, so like I want to see the ending of it because apparently the ending is actually really, really good for it. Because it's like a slow burn and they actually pulled it off at the end. So I'm excited to see how they get there. How they get there. The last thing that I want to bring up is it's kind of a sad story. DC's lost an incredible person, just an incredible person in general. Kevin Conroy passed away today from cancer, and I know a lot of people here are very big Kevin Conroy fans. I'm sorry if I get this wrong. Voice of Batman, right?
Yes, voice of Batman.
The animated series?
For animated, for a lot of things, honestly.
Whole DC animated universe.
Between like movies, between TV shows, between games, between even small little mini animations, like even just like, you know, I want to say like graphic, like audio graphic novels. He's been part of. He's
the voice of Batman in the same way that like Mark Hamill is the voice of the Joker. They're just iconic in every way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sucks. When I saw the news today, I was almost on the verge of tears because I was like, dude, Kevin fucking Conroy, man. Like just thinking about like the amount of works he's done as Batman, the amount of times I've picked up a comic and like read that comic with his voice, the amount of like pure talent throughout, like, you know, Batman the animated series and stuff like that is just, it sucks, man. I'm just glad that just watching him over the years, he got to do a lot of passion projects that he wanted to do, such as like Killing Joke, even though people hate the first like 20 minutes of that movie. Something that him and Mark Hamill wanted to do for a long time. Stuff like finally being able to be a live action version of Bruce Wayne, something Hollywood never gave him the chance to do, which sucks because, like, you know, he plays a goddamn great old Bruce Wayne. And it was cool to at least see him on the live action screen, be able to see that voice and see him as Bruce and just show everybody like, yeah, even though I'm just a voice actor, I can fucking act, bro. It just sucks. It just sucks because they're, you know, fuck cancer. It just snubs everybody way too early. 66, man. He had so much life left. Like, if it wasn't for that, we'd have him so much longer. But I'm glad he's not suffering anymore, and I'm glad he's in a better place. Hopefully.
From what Crafty was saying, he's also the Arkham games too that he did as well.
I wanted to tell just a quick story that is actually my favorite story ever when it comes to someone responsible of something you're passionate about in your childhood. Obviously, I was a huge fan growing up watching the animated series, actually seeing it on television. I'm that old.
I remember watching that. I remember watching the animated series on for us, it was like YTV or something like that. We watched it.
I remember recording the episodes, and that was really cool. Mask Phantasm, obviously, probably one of my favorite movies. But ultimately, the story that I want to talk about, and right now, I don't know if this is real. I don't think this actually happened in New York, but they had the bat signal on the Empire State Building, or at least they posted a photo of it, which I thought was very sweet. But the story I want to tell is that he actually helped during 9/11, during the effort to basically feed the firefighters and the police officers and stuff like that. He was like behind the food trucks, if I'm not mistaken, behind the food assembly, and he would tell these stories. And I think there was a great moment where he I don't even think he told them who he was. I think that's the story. But then when they realized that he was Batman, they were like all lit up with like excitement and just the fact that he touched.
It was like something like the guy recognized the name but didn't know, and apparently the guy was like, he's like, yeah, I'm an architect or something like that, and he's asking Kevin Conroy like, hey, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I'm a voice actor, and the guy's like, yeah, I fucking knew it. You're that Kevin Conroy. You're Batman. Do you remember what he told him at the end?
I just remember, didn't he do a Batman line? Is that correct or what?
Yeah, so
Oh, he ran out, didn't
yeah.
he? And he just like, yo, it's fucking Batman. Isn't that the story?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the architect goes to he's in the food hall and he goes in and goes, yeah, this guy's Batman. And then somebody in the background just goes, bullshit, prove it. You know what I mean? So then he does some voice lines at Batman, and then someone actually in the background goes, holy fuck, that's Batman. But I think the cool part of that story, though, is what he tells Kevin Conroy afterward. He looks at him and goes, like, what is it like to be Santa Claus? Like, to be able to be this kind of almost mythical being of just pure happiness that you can bring to people even in dire situations. And that's very special for somebody to be able to that kind of aura for somebody to have that kind of just touches almost every person in that room, because everybody has an experience with Batman at some point. And yeah, to being able to see that almost in real life probably was during those dire times was probably a very, very unique situation.
Yeah, there's quite a bit of actors or voice actors that kind of elicit that kind of response too. Like, it's not just Kevin Conroy. I think who's the person that does all of like the there's a lot of voice acting. I forgot his name, but like he is also one of them as well. It's just like when you hear that voice, it just brings you back to like those moments.
Rob Paulson was one of them.
Rob Paulson, that's who I was thinking of. Yes, yeah, Rob Paulson is what I was thinking of. Yeah, that just brings you back to like that, because I remember watching the Batman animated series when I was growing up and really, really, really enjoying it. And yeah, it sucks because 66 is a young age. But at least the world can pay him tribute for what he did for everybody, that like especially us when we were growing up, and all the games that we played and stuff like that. They all live on through him or through that media.
The only one last thing I just wanted to say was I think everyone definitely praises him for being Batman. I don't think enough people actually praise his Bruce Wayne. His Bruce Wayne is actually different and delicate, and it can be, just as, empathic as I think as his Batman can be as well. There's a great episode in the JLA where a child is dying, and he stays with her, and there's just a great moment in that story. But yeah, it's he will be missed.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's tough to outro after that particular story, but our hearts go out to the Conroy family and everybody that was affected. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching episode 61 of the Point in Progress podcast. We appreciate you guys. If you guys like this video, please hit the like button. If you guys like the content on the channel, please hit the sub button. We'd really, really appreciate it. But thank you guys so much for watching today. It really, really means a lot to us. And we'll see you guys again next week, I guess.
Bye, y'all. Fuck your plug.
Later.
We say fuck the drugs.
Fuck the drugs.
Totally did I.
I figured it would just be a good way to just outro the thing after that.
Yeah.
It's in big bold words how we end the episode at the end of the doc.
I totally yeah, it's on the third page and I can't see the third page.
Okay, so what we do is we splice the one from last week and we just put it in for this week. Nobody asks questions. Why are we wearing different clothes? Why are we in different lightings? Fuck it. It doesn't matter.
Why is one person not on the podcast?
So I'm sitting here like while all of you are talking about him, and I just sent this to Frank.
I know. I can't.
I was just like, I was trying not to make a face because for some reason Trombone Champ.
I fucking hate you so much. Why did you do this? Why did you send me this?
Just randomly came on when I like on YouTube because I just had like some other music playing, and then all of a sudden this came on while all of you were being very somber, and I'm just like.
I'm posting this in the YouTube chat. I'm over here like, trying to hold back, my emotions for Kevin Conroy over here. And then I open this up and this is what I hear. And I'm just like, dude, why? It's good though.
I thought peacocks were flightless birds.
Oh,
they are not.
Was that They
They're
are not.
They will fuck you up. They will hurt you. Do not go near them.
What does that have to do with flying?
Because they're even more terrifying because they're a massive bird with their tail and everything, and then they're just like whoop whoop, and then just like attack you. No. Mm-mm.
He's a
Here's the
peacock, you
thing,
gotta
it's
let him
beautiful.
fly. Yes, exactly.
Oh my
Exactly,
god,
Brady.
Crafty. It was yeah, Trombone Champ. It's a video game where you play a trombone and you,
Oh no, Crafty's played it on stream.
yeah. Oh god. Yeah, no. Oh god, this game.
Wait, is that the one you played, Trombone Champ? That's the one, right? Pretty sure that's the one.
I mean,
Okay. Glad
Yeah,
this-
that's the one. Yeah, that's the one she played. Yeah.
Okay, glad this works. I thought I broke the stream. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, that was a good show. Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, it still feels so weird not being able to like raid somebody else.
It does feel a little different. Hopefully we'll get used to. But hey, you know what? Everybody in the chat here, do me a favor. Fargo Brady is in the chat. You have a really awesome YouTube. Everyone, please go give Fargo Brady a sub. You know, we'll do that. We'll do that. We'll recommend someone you should sub every week.
yeah.
You know, give Fargo Brady some love.
I'm trying.
I'm curious why he said ask Mark Wahlberg. Ask his mother. You know.
Bless you.
Yeah. Bless his mother.
Do you know you can take this off on our microphone, Harv?
Jesus Christ.
Yes, now
That
you
sounds
sound
awful.
very weird.
It sounds
There's
terrible.
probably a reason why it's in there. You know.
Lord.
Who'd have thunk
Who'd have thunk? Well,
Why do I sound bad?
that?
I sound better now.
Fee, when you did that voice, you sounded like the TikTok voice of like, here's our
Wow.
5 things that I found on the line.
5 ways to murder your husband. Part 1.
God. Yeah.
There you go. Crafty in the
that
chat,
note-
thank you.
Good
One
night.
sec.
Yes.
One second.
everyone.
Before we go. One
okay,
second. One
okay.
second. I'm trying to do something here.
What are you trying to do?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Are you trying to plug yourself randomly?
What are you
No, I'm not
buying?
trying to- no,
What
I'm
are
not
you
trying to-
selling?
What are you buying?
What are you buying? I got through the calamari and the tiger eye
Nice.
so far during the thing.
Man,
I still have the sushi.
I'm trying not to order food for the month of November. Fuck you.
I did it for the first time yesterday in like a month. It was felt.
Oh my god. We're doing like a
What are we doing, Harv?
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
no, some coworkers and I are doing like a no order November where we have like a limit.
There it is,
of,
that's
like,
what I was doing.
2.
Oh,
No order
Crafty.
November.
All right,
Oh, you already. Oh, okay. Yeah, Crafty's already got it. Never mind.
All right. Well,
Crafty's the better person than I am.
that's why
Oh,
Crafty is a
There's
mod.
a Fargo
Thank you
Brady.
so
There
much,
we go.
Crafty.
Yeah, that's why she's a mod.
All right.
Exactly.
I love you all. Have sweet dreams. Progress has been